Ciao.
Ciao Stella.
Oh, I can't hear you. Stella, can you say something to see if I can hear
Hi,
you?
ciao,
No, I
come
can't hear you.
stai?
Okay, hold on. How about now?
Ok, mi
I
senti?
hear you now.
Eh,
Adrian?
Hi Damon. Do you hear
Hi.
me?
Oh, I hear you too. That's good.
Good.
Hi, Damon. Can you
Good
hear me?
morning. Hi,
I'll be,
Claire.
I'll be online or I'll be on video in just a moment.
Cool. Sounds good. Max, I just got an email from Edward asking about the login.
Asking about the login for the meeting.
Yes.
He was on the same email list as everyone else, so.
Is it possible to have another one sent to him?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll email him.
So Damon.
Yeah.
The simplest way to do this might be for one of you to forward him your invitation. Only
Okay.
because there's a council meeting going on right now, and yeah, our comms officer would be in that meeting.
No problem. I'll send it. I'll send him mine.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. Hi, Edward. One, 2, 3, 4, 6. Well, it is a little, it's almost 4:35, and I believe with 6 people, we do have a quorum. Max, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, then others will have said that they would join us, so we'll probably get other people here momentarily. But for the sake of time, how about we go ahead and begin? Adrienne, would you like to review our determination or our recommendation?
Pardon me.
Sure.
Have we
Um,
to take minutes?
Max, you wanted us to hold a minute?
No, have we determined who is going to take the minutes for this meeting?
Oh, minutes.
Yeah.
I can do it.
I will
Oh,
do it.
thank you, Edward. Appreciate you.
I got you.
Thanks. Thank you, Max, for reminding us to do that.
So I've agreed to present our committee recommendations today, but it's also important that I let those of you here know I'm stepping down from chairing the Grants and Travel Scholarship Committee. It's not a good fit for me any longer, and it's become more than I have time to dedicate to. So the end of this meeting, we will need someone to delegate the communications to the scholarship recipients and non-recipients. Most of the materials for that are ready to rock, almost ready to rock, but that's something that you all need to know. So reviewing our policy, we agreed to dedicate $8,000 per year, per fiscal year to the travel scholarship program. And we agreed that if we had surplus money from one city's allotment, figuring 2,000 per city with 4 cities. But if we have surplus money, in other words, not enough requests from one city and more than the $2,000 in requests from another city, that we would redistribute the funds that way to try to award as many qualified applicants as possible. We were going to max out each individual travel scholarship at $1,000, and the requirements or the criteria include that the traveler articulates a goal, an objective that aligns with our mission, with the mission of this commission, and also that the traveler in their application indicate a compelling or reasonable need for funding assistance. One last reminder is that we're trying to keep to a system of anonymity for the applicants. So in our grants committee work, we have referred to the applicants by their initials. And I'll do so today. I know that probably won't mean a lot to you, but essentially we had 9 applications. We had a good 2-week period of promotion, and we got 9 applications. 1 for a traveler to go to Besançon, none for Huehue, 3 for Pojo. And I should note that one of those applications was really on behalf of 4 individuals. So it was a representative from Charlottesville High School requesting funding assistance for 4 students in the teacher's purview. And then we had 5 individuals apply to go to Winneba. The committee determined that we recommend funding the 4 students from Charlottesville High School. That application was done by the one teacher who would be taking the students. This is on a trip to Pojo as part of a larger trip to Italy, and they would be giving a concert in Pojo and hope to connect with other residents of the city of Pojo and in connection with choirs and choral singing. So that would be at $1,000 per person. That's $4,000. And the other 2 we recommend are for travel to Winneba. One of them is an individual. Both individuals seek to attend the trip sponsored by the Charlottesville Winneba Foundation that's coming up imminently. And the other applicants we declined funding for, and reasons varied from applications not really strong in the sense that they didn't articulate any, in some cases, nothing that aligns in any way with the mission of our commission. And in a couple of cases, applicants resided in counties far afield from our city and our county. And we are seeking to prioritize those, our residents here locally. So are there any questions? Or Damon, do you have anything to add to that?
The one thing I might add is you probably noticed that we funded one $4,000 grant for 4 people to Poggio and none to Besançon or Wayway. So again, as Adrian said, there were no Wayway proposals. And there was one to Base en Somme, but it was basically a vacation that was being proposed. It had no real connection to the Sister Cities program. And we, the committee members, did not feel that the proposal justified funding. So once we determined that there would not be a travel scholarship funded for Wayway or Base en Somme, it was at that time that we opened up the opportunity to increase funding to the other two cities. And ultimately, we funded $6,000 of our $8,000 budget because those were the proposals we felt we could confidently justify in funding. Adrian, you have, or Allison, hi Allison. Feel free to add anything, any other perspective you think we might have left out.
No, that was all spot on for me, and I'm driving. That's why my video is not on, because I didn't want anyone to throw up at all of the driving motions, but I am here.
Thank you. So yeah, any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
So I know this year, or next year, or I guess when the proposal was initially developed, you know, we have $2,000 for each of the sister cities. Are we, you know, is this, and we didn't have as much time as we would have liked to be able to advertise this. In the future, would it be possible, I don't know if we could, to get that sort of diversity that we were hoping for with Poggio and Besançon, should we be kind of trying to tap different groups to get that, just so we have that? I mean, I think for this, it makes sense. We want to fund the best proposals. Maybe that should always be our goal. But if we're seeing sort of a consistent, like nobody's applying for Wayway or nobody's applying for Besançon, then maybe we need to do some other type of outreach. It was more a comment than a question, but.
Sure. I mean, it's definitely something we should look at, I believe, for next year or next period, whenever that is. You know, regarding Wayway is still a new and emerging relationship with us. So I think it makes sense that, you know, we're kind of more slowly getting attention for that city. You know, it does have grant proposals, which I know are different from travel scholarships, but it's not being, you know, totally neglected by the community. Still, you know, as we move forward, we'll certainly want to, you know, try to develop our relationship, the relationship between Charlottesville and Wayway. Regarding Base en Somme, I think it's probably an anomaly that there weren't any successful proposals from there, just considering how there were, you know, kind of an abundance of grant proposals that focused on Base en Somme. So that doesn't mean we shouldn't kind of look at those communities a little bit more closely this next time around. And I think we'll more than likely have more of notice to provide and kind of develop attention for these. So yeah, I mean, the answer is sure. It would be ideal to develop the, you know, try and reach out to specific communities too.
Right, and it did seem like you mentioned with the grants, you know, Poggio, I think, didn't have any grants until you all worked with that gentleman with the puppets, right? But now there are all these people who want to go to Poggio. Besançon had a lot of applicants, but now maybe it'd just be something for us to track over time to see sort of, are there any trends? And I know it's hard to track trends over time when you have like 2 years of data, but might be something might be worthwhile to keep a pulse.
You know, it certainly doesn't hurt to approach the community, all the communities intentionally next time around. I think this time it was more of a, you know, an at-large communication, and naturally there are the regular Winneba, you know, trips that happen, and there are also these other, and you know, I would also add regarding Base en Somme, we just sponsored a student trip going there. So had they not received a sponsorship, it's quite likely that they would have, that there would have potentially been proposals for travel scholarships, but the timing was different and the circumstances were a little different. So that one thing to consider in regards to Besançon.
Damon, I think that in the spirit of transparency, we should maybe do just a quick presentation on the applications that are not being recommended.
Okay. Adrienne, I have some notes up if you would like me to do it, or I bet you do too, and you're more than welcome to.
I don't have my notes so handy, so if you want to
Okay.
at least begin and I can look
Sure.
and see where they are.
Sure, no problem. So there is one particular proposal for a Poggio, and the person was a resident of Fluvanna County, which we determined alongside Max that it was really not the priority of the city to fund travel scholarships for people that are outside of the Charlottesville Albemarle area. So we chose not to fund that one. The one that was either for Besançon or Poggio, it was basically a proposal for a nice vacation. It was presented as this particular couple hadn't had much opportunity to travel together or spend time together after being married. And we just didn't feel that the connection to the sister city program was strong enough for that particular proposal. So we did not approve it for funding. They talked about renewing their vows on the trip, and it was just too much of a stretch. There was an applicant to Winneba who was interested in traveling there with the idea of eventually moving there. And the proposal was more focused on him and his activities and what he was trying to plan for and potentially do. And it really did not connect to the goals and purpose of the Sister Cities Commission. So because of those reasons, we did not decide to fund that particular proposal.
I think
Mhm.
we also had one or two applications that wanted travel assistance but didn't identify a trip. Kind of had like a vague, they identified the location, which I think was Winneba, but didn't identify either the specific upcoming trip or any trip timing.
Mhm.
It was sort of like funding for some travel when that person would be interested in going at their decision. I'd have to double check that, but there was some extreme vagueness around either timing, when and where and how, what trip, or in one case, I think also for destination. The application focused on Africa, but never or very, very lightly mentioned Winneba.
Well, that's true. And then there was another one that really did not have a complete application. They didn't request a specific amount of money. When they, in the section that focused on basically why they wanted to go, how it connected to the purposes of the and mission of the Sister Cities Commission, they copied and pasted the commission's mission into that field. So it was not, it was, they were not really explaining why what they wanted to do fit, other than just reiterated our mission. So that one was generally, we didn't find it a strong enough proposal to fund. There was another one to Poggio, which was applied by a 12-year-old girl who is a local artist, and she wanted to go to Poggio to develop her skills and connect with local artists. Her proposal, but the detail and how she might do that was not strong. And she was also proposing not only $1,000 for her, but an additional $1,000 for her mother to come along. And her mother had no role in the program that was stated in the proposal, other than being her mom and being her custodian. So it was, those things combined caused us to determine that the proposal wasn't really something that we wanted to fund right now. So those are basically the, I guess, 6 proposals that we chose not to fund. We all agreed that with our decision. It was unanimous. And feel free, Adrian or Allison, to add anything else that you might like to in regards to any of these.
I think you've said it all.
Okay, well then, is there a motion to approve the funding of the Winneba? Well, I could just make it if you want, but we need a motion to approve the funding for the travel scholarship proposal to Winneba with a person of the initials DBT. Another Winneba proposal with the person of the initials VCP, and the one for Poggio with the initials WC, which is for the 4 members of the Charlottesville High School choral group. So that's what we would need a motion for.
I had a question.
Sure.
Dana, and I'm not sure if this was covered before or sent out, but were we not able to view the applications?
So the applications are in the folders, and they've been there, and by folders I mean on the G Drive. They've been there since they came in, since we started through the process, and we certainly offered anybody who wanted the opportunity to be a part of the committee.
That's
We
fine.
really, yeah.
That's all right. I just wanted to know for reference. I wasn't sure if I missed that notification. So
Yeah, they've been on the G Drive.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I can
Others?
make the motion
Okay,
if there's no other questions.
all right. So would you like me to kind of restate it?
I think I might have it.
Okay, go for it.
To approve the 2 applications for Winneba and for Poggio.
I will second the motion.
Okay, great. All in favor of approving these travel scholarship, of funding these travel scholarships, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Let it be recorded that there were none opposed. Any abstentions? Okay, so
Who seconded the motion?
Claire did, I believe.
I seconded the motion. Yeah.
And what was that vote tally again?
It was unanimous, so I believe we have 8 of us here today, so it was 8 0 and 0.
Is it 7? Is Max, are you voting?
She would be the 9th.
Yeah,
Oh,
Allison,
Allison, sorry, I didn't see Allison's, yeah, they're square.
Adrian, you mentioned that you would need someone to follow up. Could you elaborate?
We as a commission need someone to chair the Grants and Travel Scholarships Committee.
So
And
that
is
might, go ahead, Allison.
It's Kimberly.
Oh, Kimberly, sorry.
Just the one time a year, or is that twice a year for the grants?
Grants is once a year and the Travel Scholarship committee or travel scholarship program, we haven't really determined if we wanted to do 1 or 2 cycles, but for the moment, it feels like we're at 1 cycle for this fiscal year, which is about to end, by the way, at the end of June. And then we would technically dedicate another 8,000 to it for the next fiscal year, which is fiscal year 2024. I just remind you that we never really, we're kind of doing an interim travel scholarship program right now, and we didn't determine what our longer term wishes are as far as having 1 or 2 cycles per year.
Got it. I can, I'm happy to chair if no one else is available to do it.
Right.
Kimberly, I can send you an email, that my last email to the committee included some information about the next step, which is to communicate to the recipients and the non-recipients.
Okay.
And there's a document that needs to be adjusted or needs to be worked on there, but I think the email will make it clear.
Okay.
Kimberly, I also have 2 documents that I'll forward to you. Our deputy city attorney has drafted a fiscal sponsor assignment form that the grant recipients will have to complete, as well as a travel scholarship expectation contract. And so I'll send those to you, and then if you could save those on the J Drive, I'm sorry, J Drive here internally, on your Google Drive, for future use.
Max, are those, so those are final versions of what I had disseminated earlier?
So
I didn't do the assignment form, but I did do an expectations form.
and then it appears that she took a lot of language from the document that you created, but it is a different document, yes.
Okay.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you, Kimberly, for stepping up and taking on that role. We really appreciate you. And thank you, Adrienne, for carrying the torch this last period. You've done a fantastic job, and we really appreciate your efforts and all that you've done to get the program more organized and really getting it up on the right foot once again. So thank you. Okay, everybody, I guess in that case, we can adjourn. We really appreciate you taking time out of your Monday to come together so we can get these responses back out to the applicants. And we will be back together again here in a couple of weeks for our regular meeting, the first Tuesday of the month. So.
Before we go, I wanted to let you all know that Elizabeth reached out to me about the pianist Damian Grolo. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce that right. Coming to Charlottesville. He's a Sister Cities. He participated in a Sister Cities exchange, so he'll be here performing next Sunday, or the coming Sunday, and then next Friday. And we'll send out information about that if you all would like to attend.
Great. Thank you, Claire.
Thanks, Claire.
Thanks.
All right, everyone. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.